towards the end of grade 7, we were watching videos about plastic and the different types of plastic, and we realized how serious this problem is. Like, we realized that, this is damaging our planet, damaging the environment, so we had to do something about it. We decided to start with something easy to make that we could do as a class in our kitchen in the basement. So we decided to use like spoons because these are very commonly used. So it would be a great start. So we went down to the kitchen and first we had like a breakfast. It was like eggs and orange peels. So we had these materials to work with as well as gelatin, agar.
Like the stuff that they lost like some of the recipes and stuff, so we couldn't make them again. But I saw the eggshell spoon and I was like, this is gonna be something.
Well, the cornstarch ones didn't really turn out as much as they crumbled into bits. They didn't really work out. They kind of crumbled because they were made as like oobleck, so they did crumble.
Kappa Carrigean spoons actually did this. Like, they had holes in them. So again, we weren't able to use these. They kind of feel like felt, like soft felt. So again, they just had holes in them, so we could not use them.
The gelatin ones seem to work the best because they're stable enough, but we didn't have enough molds, so we had to use the smaller ones.
When we did use the bigger ones, they turned out okay. They didn't look the same as the smaller ones, but they still are stable.
And the agar ones will shrivel up, just kind of crumble into pieces. So this is the green one, crumble into pieces, and this is the purple one. Or what we have rest of the purple one.
I feel like chalk.
or the remains of the purple one, really.
Yeah.
So we knew that immediately that just agar alone was not going to be good enough.
What ones are
to
they?
use. It could be combined with something else, but could not be used alone.
This was a gelatin that was more dried up, but
it's very flimsy and not really stable, so it would be hard to eat food with it.
So yeah, some of the gelatin ones became really thin and flimsy to like you can't really eat them, they just kind of jiggle. But however, a few gelatin ones turned out pretty dry, so I guess the mold makes a difference. The mold that we use makes a difference. I guess the amount we use makes a difference.
These are, it's stuck. What do I do?
Don't think of the mold.
So these are like, these were the same recipes, but we used two different molds. So obviously one of them was clean more than the other one.
Every different color is a different recipe with a different group. And in the second take, we actually got to take our recipes and change them depending on what we thought worked with it.
So this is the first batch. This is the second batch here. So we have more successful ones. These ones are still a bit sticky, but they're very thick, and they are still very solid though, so they can be usable, but they are a bit sticky and not dry yet from the back. And these were the clear ones. This is basically the bigger version. So we have that, and then we had these black ones, actually these shiny gelatin ones. These are actually very thick. You can see like they would hold weight, but they're very bendable. The other black ones, the not shiny ones, yeah, I believe those were made from agar. So yeah, these ones turned out nice actually.
The difference.
Yeah, here's the difference. This is the first agar, and this is the last agar. So I guess the size makes a difference. I guess maybe you just shouldn't stretch out the agar to the point where it just crumbles up. There was recipes that just couldn't hold it together and just separate it. So this spoon would have actually worked because it was very thick and very stable. But again, agar. I guess the bigger size broke into pieces. This batch is from the first round. This orange one is actually extremely stable. Still a bit sticky from the back, but very usable. Spoons take 5 to 7 days to dry up, so these have had their 5 days, so they can still use some more time. That's why they're a bit sticky from the back. For the orange ones, The blue ones are actually very, very, very flimsy. Like, it's extremely thin. I don't want to touch it any more than that, not to damage it. Because it has potential, it just needs to dry more. If I turn the spoon around, there's a little edge. Because they dry in the mold and they stick to the edges of the mold. But the back actually has nothing in it. So it becomes thin for this reason, because there is nothing behind it. It's just a thin layer of whatever substance we use, and then edges. It's not like this is closed off. It's a very great start to a more sustainable and a more, I guess, safer environment technically, because we're not damaging the environment with like plastic. And like, it's sad that we've only discovered plastic like 7 years ago or even less, and now we're finding another substance to replace it. It just wasn't working well. We are really happy to be working on this. We're really happy to be working on something that's good for us, good for the environment, and that's going to help us in the future to sustain human life and just animal life, the world, the earth in general. We're keeping it healthy, we're keeping it, beautiful, and we're really proud of that.